So much of what we call pop culture, the slang, the trends, the fashion, actually came from queer, Black, and Latinx spaces, but we rarely talk about that. Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amanda and I create queer, pop culture, lifestyle, entrepreneurship content on this channel, and if you guys stick around, join the family, join the squad, we'd love to have you here. So let's dive into this conversation. We've been saying words like slay, yes queen, on the internet for years, but those words didn't come from Instagram, from TikTok, from YouTube. They came from queer people of color, from the ballroom scene, from communities that were creating their own world before it became mainstream media stuff. So let's start with how queer and BIPOC culture turned into pop culture. We're gonna start there because this is essentially the blueprint. The ballroom culture in the 1980s, which was led by queer, Black, and Latinx folks in New York, was everything. It was the fashion, it was the performances, it was the language. It was essentially a chosen family space. And it was basically all built from people who were rejected by society. When we talk about voguing, before Madonna essentially made it a hit, it was born in the Harlem ballroom. Slang like shade, serve came from that space. It came from the Harlem ballroom. Even the fashion trends that you see, the oversized vibes, the layering, the expressive gender bending looks, it all came from queer and trans folks of color that were kind of experimenting with their own vibes. And then the mainstream media and the luxury fashion people caught on, and here we are now. So next, let's talk about the ripple effect. How it went from underground to mainstream. It's kind of crazy how we think about the fact that Dragon Ballroom used to be like underground and now it's like this big thing that people are pursuing in their careers and making money off of, when it used to be this underground thing that people just did where they felt safe, and now it's like this huge thing. Then came along Paris is Burning in the 90s, and this basically was like a stepping stone for like things like RuPaul's Drag Race and essentially how people talk online today. Or let's take music for example. So much of the pop DNA that we see today has derived from Black creators, Black artists, and Black queer artists. People like Sylvester, who is the disco legend, Frankie Knuckles, who's known as the godfather of house music, Big Frida, the queen of bounce, house, dance, disco. All these genres were built from Black queer creators, Black queer artists, and now they became the heartbeat of pop. And then if we compare pop culture and queer culture, it's not just one way. Pop culture also gives queer people some visibility, even if it's not perfect sometimes. It's not. When shows like Pretty Little Liars, Orange is the New Black, Heartstopper, Pose, Euphoria came to the light, it gave so many people a language for their identity. Like suddenly you can be like, oh, that's me, and not feel so alone. For example, with Pretty Little Liars, when Emily came into the scene and was like, I'm a lesbian, I was like, whoa, I like girls too. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like the world was more accepting, and like pop culture was giving queer identity a little bit of space in the media. What I think about a lot is how pop culture borrows a lot from queer creators and BIPOC creators, but often forget to give credit for that. For example, the TikTok trends that get started in the Black queer communities, they get copied, they get watered down, and then they blow up without the recognition, and mostly blown up from white creators. And that's something that we need to like talk about, because we honestly cannot celebrate queer culture without celebrating the people of color that built it. Queerness has always been intersectional. Black and brown queer folks created the foundation, and everyone else just built on top of it. And we can't ignore that. All this to say, my whole analogy of this is that queer culture is pop culture, and pop culture wouldn't even exist in the way that it does now without the creativity, resilience, and brilliance of queer BIPOC people. From ballroom to Beyonce, from the underground clubs to the Met Gala, it's all connected. Seriously, it's like literally all connected. Queer people have always been shaping what's cool, what's expressive, and what's coming next. So next time you hear a word like slay or a trend that's popping up, just remember it probably started in a room full of queer people making some magic. So all this to say, I would love for you to comment down below a queer person of color that is a content creator as well that you love and that you want more support on, because I would love to check them out. Because again, pop culture would not exist without queer people of color, and I will stand on that. I will stand on that. That's my analogy for the day. That's my video for the day. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this made sense. I just want to really just discuss basically how pop culture is intertwined with queer culture and where it derived from. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.